Hello, welcome to Daybreak. I'm Joe Young, manager for the Village of Oxford. Joe Frost, the executive director of the Downtown Development Authority. And
good morning.
We're here today to give you the latest updates. Deb Uren couldn't be here today from the Chamber of Commerce, but we're going to share with you some of the things the Chamber's got going on. And just yesterday, they had their first speaker series with Brian Burney of the Burney Directive, and he had a presentation on social media, how to plan marketing and strategic marketing for your business. And he had 20 different points on things to do and not do, and what. It was very interesting. We had like over 30 people there. It was a great event for the Chamber, and great for Mr. Burney and the businesses that were there. It was sponsored by MC
They changed their name, yeah.
To Witches. Now, the MC stands for Motor City. I don't know if you knew that or
Motor
not.
City Witches. Makes sense.
And they're looking to franchise. Patrick Hintz is looking to franchise. They do have a second restaurant up in Lapeer called Wood Chips. But anyway, they're doing great. They make their own bread. The big thing they were pushing. I'm kind of giving an ad here for Witches. But the big point, Brian Burney, who's very involved in our Orion and Oxford community. He's been on the Chamber of Commerce. He's a Marine. He's been with top 40 out of 40 in Oakland County, the Community Impact Awards in Lake Orion, worked for several different businesses, and from doctors to, he told us his first job was with the YMCA, but his first marketing job. But anyway, it was great, a lot of great information on social media and how we need to be more involved.
And I think what it did is it trained some of our small business owners and our organizations to deliver messages easier to you folks and streamline and grow the social media aspect. So if you're not following your favorite business on social media, I encourage you to do that right now, especially downtown Oxford.
Yes.
We were talking the village may create a page as well, but downtown Oxford, the Oxford Chamber of Commerce, Witches, Sullivan's, the list goes on and on and on, because sometimes you might be missing out on some specials, some deals, some events. Each of these businesses have their own. I know Victoria's does a tea, Sullivan's does an open mic and a comedy night. And good opportunity. If you're connected with those businesses via social media, you see those opportunities.
Yeah, and Dean's Wine Shop's got some events coming up too, with the women's group too, that is out again on the social media, but also their website. So be sure to check those out. So this is the up and coming way to be connected and be involved. And one of the things Brian pointed out yesterday, you need engagement, getting people involved with them, and then with their friends and people they share with, and
sharing
the more the merrier.
And commenting, and
Man, he commented about our Lone Ranger Festival, how big an impact that has on the community, and it does, and we should be sharing that because it is something unique to Oxford, which is coming up. We'll be dealing with that. But anyway, it's a great event. The next one they've got, a speaker series, is on February 22nd. It's at noon. It's with Lauren Durez, and she's with LD Witness. It's about how to fuel yourself, fuel your success, and about how to be a holistic health coach to help you with choices in making food and thought and affecting your life and your success. They're also going to have, keeping you healthy, we're also going to have Elena Sullivan from Sullivan Law will talk about estate planning and wills. So we're going to cover the whole game. So be healthy while you're here,
and then
when you leave, everything
in
place, so you don't have to worry about your relatives or friends or whoever you're going to leave or whatever to. You'll be fine. So it's kind of interesting there, but it'll be great. I'm sure great speaking engagement there. Then they got one in March. We're hoping maybe to talk about M24. April, they're going to have Bill Dunn and Sue Basardi. Bill Dunn, the Oxford Township Supervisor, and Sue Basardi, the Council President for Village of Oxford, and they're going to give a state of local government for you on that April date. And then in August, we've got John Jackson, who was McKenna Associates. He's going to give an update on the new streamlined zoning ordinance that was in the process at this time. So we'll talk about that in a little bit later in the show, about how we're trying to make it more economic development friendly and address what it looks like. Part of DDA is historic preservation. It's about what it looks like, because the use in a building can change from time to time, as we've seen, this way the economy is. So we're excited about that. The Chamber also has, there are other events all scheduled for the year, for the Women's Expo, The Christmas parade, of course, and they coordinate the Lone Ranger parade also, and they have their monthly coffee connects and mixers. So there's a lot going on, and the chamber really helping out our businesses. A lot going on, working together with the DDA and the chamber and everyone. So Joe, you've got some events and activities for the DDA.
Yeah, some DDA events coming up. It will be too late by the time our viewers see this, but tomorrow, Friday, the 20th, I'm doing a fireside chat at the library. It's a beautiful setup there at the library. They actually have a fireplace. It's kind of an old-fashioned kind of fireside chat, but specifically I'll be talking on the National Register of Historic Places, what that means, what it means for downtown Oxford. As some of you already know, we're eligible and we're in the pipeline, if you will, for a state preservation office program to help us get listed on the National Register. So I'm going to cover some of that, what it means, what it doesn't mean, because there are some misconceptions about the process. And then I'll be doing a similar talk at the library in the evening of January 30th as well at 6 p.m. And the reason for both is, different times, different days, allow more opportunity for folks to get involved.
Right.
May is Historic Preservation Month, and although we haven't solidified our plans and details for what we'll be doing, we're going to anticipate probably another preservation talk in May, as well as we'll have our architectural scavenger hunt out there. So folks can participate in that. We'll probably change it up a little bit. June, with the background behind us, I like to think about June right now. Get that snow out of here, but we have decided that June 15th will be the first Thursday for our Concerts in the Park series for 2017. So the committee is working hard on determining the bands. So we want to have a little bit of a mix of returning bands, some new bands, and really have a wide variety of genres for the Concert in the Park series. So that's,
and the farmers market.
And the farmers market, they'll be involved as well again. So June 15th through the end of August. Scarecrow Festival will be October 14th this year, and we're talking with the Pollyant Trail and Merge Studio. Pollyant Trail does a zombie run. But we're going to do that the same day. We're going to kind of team up and bring you the zombie run, and Merge Studio does their Dirt Road Derby bicycle race. That's all going to coincide with the Scarecrow Festival this year. Soup and Sweet Stroll, December 1st. So mark your calendars. Now's a good time as we begin to plan for 2017, plan for vacations and days off and things like that. Get these on your calendar. Now, these are just the ones that the DDA is taking the lead on. There are other events, and those dates will be determined. The Girlfriend's Walk is a big retail event that will take place. Generally, that takes place once in June and once in October. Vintage Market in the Park, and a couple of others. And of course, the Lone Ranger Festival, August, the first Saturday in August. So mark your calendar. Make sure that you're home and not on vacation that weekend. It's a great weekend to stay home.
All right, well, we'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Welcome to American Legion in Oxford for the best fish on Fridays. That's right, from noon to 8:30. You can get the best walleye in Michigan. You can get walleye, baked cod, chicken strips, baked potatoes, and more. On the hall side of the Legion, oh, hello there, friends. You can have 12 friends on a table, any one of the best military museums in Michigan. And the dining side, oh, hello again. More comfortable with many 4-seat tables and a couple of 5-seaters. Now on Friday we usually have about 400 to 500 best friends for our fish. Carry-out? You bet. We have 50 to 60 carry-outs at the post. We have some young friends with the birthdays and some of our best seniors at the post. Oh yeah, waitresses, they go like a track waitress to get your food. If you have never enjoyed our secret's famous walleye at the Legion, come on in every Friday from noon to 8:30 at the American Legion Post 108 on 130 East Rainer Road, Oxford.
Welcome back, Joe and Joe here, the JoJo Show here today at Daybreak.
Joe squared.
Joe was talking about having the fireside chats at the Oxford Public Library with Brian Crucher. Has an awesome program going on there. And this month, through February 17th, they're having an expo or exhibition of Michigan newspapers, 2 centuries, from 1809 to 2009. It's a traveling exhibit from the Clark Historical Library at Central Michigan University. So they've had different speakers in there. I know there was something in the Leader this week about the speaker, about the trends of where his the media is at. And one of the things they were in the article, I don't know if you had a chance to read it yet or not, but they're saying that local paper will give you local news. The other media you'll get elsewhere now. It won't be in your printed papers. We know the newspapers are very thin these days, except for the Leader, where they have a lot of things going on and reporting. So one thing, keep it local and advertise, but you obviously that social media component we talked about before is out there for businesses. So we got that going on at the library through February 17th, so be sure to check that out at the exhibit. And then they got different speakers and things going on. They got a scavenger hunt and a photo booth, and they got a art exhibit coming to this. It's out there right now, matter of fact.
And if you're interested in learning more about the history of the Oxford Leader, Jim Sherman, Sherman Publishing, I'm assuming it's Jim, it doesn't say, Sherman Publishing, they're going to be doing a fireside chat on January 27th. So in conjunction with the newspaper history. So, I mean, we have one of the old, I think it's on their masthead, they're one of the oldest papers around. 1898, since 1898.
April 15th, 1898. The home of the mask.
The Oxford Leader has been bringing us news, so that's wonderful to hear the history of that stuff.
One of the other things I want to make you aware of, with the snow in our background, this Oxford Parks and Rec has two things. It's coming up. Cardboard sled competition is on January 28th. So that's this coming weekend, a week from now, so be sure to take a part of that. It's going to be at Seymour Lake Park at 2 o'clock. And then the free photographers out there, there's a Snowman and Me contest where you can take pictures of your family and your snowman and turn them into Parks and Rec. They got to be received by April 14th. So there should be a few opportunities for you to build snowman between now and April 14th. Get your picture in, and the pictures are to be of a person, a portrait, no landscaping. So they want to see snowmen and people in the picture. And they're voting. Go ahead.
Does snowman suits count? Snowman costumes?
Any kind with the work, yeah.
Snowman costume?
Yeah, maybe you can have a Civil War one out there, Joe. They will be posted May 1st, and the voting then they'll be ending on June 1st. So we'll be dealing with snow in June, I guess, thanks to the Parks and Rec and their idea about making the most of our Michigan weather here, which has been pretty strange this spring, with raining and freezing, and then the 40-degree, 50-degree weather, somebody was saying. So it's kind of strange. But anyway, got a lot going on. So we're talking about businesses. We got a lot going on downtown, Joe. You want to give us an update?
The construction on Becker's Eye Care is still moving forward.
Yes.
The building is up. They're working on all the inside kind of stuff. The breweries are still underway too. There's been a lot of questions, and we know that they've been working with the building department. They're doing inspections regularly, and in the case of both of them, they have their brewing equipment set up, and they've gone through all that process. But falling down, they're in the process of setting the columns to reinforce the structure of the building so they can eventually build up as well. So
they're going to have a third floor.
They're going to have a third floor, so they're coming along. I know we've been saying that for some time now, but it does take time to get breweries up and running. So as always, we have the available properties list on our downtownoxford.org website. So if you or someone you know is looking to start a small business, purchase a property, go there, check us out. There are facade grant opportunities, there are sign grant opportunities, so we can assist on that side of things. But there are some buildings to choose from within the downtown. Dave Weckel is going to be doing his East Burdick Street development soon as well. So presumably once the weather breaks, I know that the engineering.
You mentioned the Oxford Tap expansion too.
And the Tap is expanding still, So that's still coming. They're moving along, and hopefully all three of these, the Tap. We can't say this for sure, but hopefully they're all ready to go in time for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful. So, so those are moving along.
You know, speaking of facade grants, Alberto Pimento at Casa Real is interested in doing that and putting maybe a roll up front and some enhancements to his facade. So it's this program through the DDA. We got another new business coming at the former Huntoon Funeral Home, first floor. Chuck Snyder's got a business coming in there called Something for Everyone. And it's supposed to be furniture, I'm sure antique and kind of refurbished furniture, and special gifts. So that's going to complement the other businesses we have in town.
And we shouldn't forget, 5-1 Diner is reopening.
Oh yeah, that one too.
And they will be reopened by the end of the month, is what Nicole has told me, the owner.
All right.
So a fresh look. They're doing a fresh menu as well. They've redone the inside a little bit, so it won't look exactly the same. It'll look better. Not that it looked bad to begin with, but they're also doing more locally sourced food products. So I don't know all the details on that, but I know that it's a brand new menu. So check that out. Stay tuned. If you're not following them on Facebook and their website, please do. 5-1 Diner is their Facebook page. So to be honest, I'm excited because their breakfast was amazing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
that's true. We
we missed their breakfast.
Get the healthy breakfast
so
going.
They'll be getting started
So
soon.
lots of great things downtown. We also got the developments on Village property that we're pursuing right now. Again, the property at 98 Glassby, which we did do a phase 2 environmental, which came back clean, so there is no remediation or anything to clean up. They can build residential properties there. We're reactivating our marketing through Kathleen Sanchez, and hope we get a housing developer to come in and put in some single or multifamily mixed use property, not mixed use, but mixed residential perhaps on that property. So we're excited about that. Venture Volsha is has presented an option to the village to buy the village property. They had originally proposed a mixed-use development, and that's up for consideration by council. They've submitted this option to buy it, subject to getting a grant through MISDA that would help finance this project if it were to happen for senior fixed income and hopefully market rate housing as well. And then we also have the Dayton Street property that the voters approved in November. It's about 2 to 3 acres over there that's zoned single family. And we're looking to get that on the market, get it being promoted and sold, hopefully for development too. So lots of village properties, and we got the business properties. We also have private and residential properties. Dan Ludwig is building, Mike Kozlov, Admiral Homes are building, out on Oxford Lakes. So a lot of good things going on in our community. And it's an awesome community, and we'll get back and give you some more updates here in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Joe Young, Joe Frost, and here we are giving our final section here. We got lots of more things to share with you. So one of the things with the DDA, something special happened.
That's right. So each year we're evaluated by Main Street Oakland County on a 10-point criteria that is set by the National Main Street Center, and those 10 points, have to do with how we are organized and our work plans and our historic preservation ethic and our community support, et cetera, et cetera. There's 10 points, and we've met all of those.
Wonderful.
We've received yeses again. So this is the second year in a row that we've been a nationally accredited Main Street program. So what that does for us is it gives us more visibility on the National Main Street website, and what it really does on a local level is it gives us kind of a framework. Here's a standard. Oh, dropped my pen. Here's a standard, and we've met that standard, and in some cases exceeded that. So that's a great opportunity.
But there's always room for improvement.
But there's always room for improvement. Exactly right. There's always room for improvement. And one of the things it speaks to is the quality of life. That's really what economic development is all about, is ensuring that you have a great sense of place, a great quality of life, and this community certainly has that going for us.
Yeah, we need to be promoting more of that, because as we know, we've got great schools, we've got a great police department, great DPW, we have a very clean and safe community, wonderful schools, great parks, great downtown, all the services you'd want to have in a community out here in the country, 9 miles from the Palace. I keep telling people it's only 9 miles from the Palace. So we're a great location and a great place to raise a family. I know, Joe, you're working on that now with your in town here, and many people moving into the area because of the schools and our community and the quality that we have to offer. So we're going to be promoting that more, and excuse me. Part of that too, in promoting our community, is we're looking to streamline our zoning ordinance to be more developer friendly and clearer and easier to use, because we have had a lot of restrictions, and we really care about what it looks like. We want to keep our historic character and charm, and we certainly want desirable businesses and a good mix of that. And on that note, on January 31st, a Tuesday at 5:30, the village is having a joint strategic planning session with the DDA, the Planning Commission, ZBA, to look at what our priorities should be for the short term and long term, and what we can do to help make Oxford better all the time. So that would include street projects and what kind of businesses, what other things we need to do for services. We could look at changing or improving or adding. So if you have input and want to be involved, it's again on January 31st. You can email or send your suggestions in or comments in to the village or to Joe Frost or one of the Joes here, and then or show up at the meeting. And there'll be a follow-up on it. But we're trying to make Oxford better and greater all the time, and there's an opportunity for your input and set some priorities and identify funding, such as example M24 project coming up in three seasons now from now. The third construction season, 2019.
That's right.
So
That's right. So back in November or so, I got the green light from the DDA board to begin forming a task force, a committee to focus on the M24 project and really focus on what it looks like in the downtown area as far as street lights, benches, brick pavers, some of the things we have there now, but improving those during this process. So the committee is working hard. We're reviewing an older streetscape plan to see what we can glean from that and move forward on. We're putting together a work plan that's going to detail, over the next 12 months, 24 months, what needs to happen. And once we really get into 2018, that's going to be more of the promotional side of things with the committee on figuring out and assisting and promoting our downtown businesses during this construction. Now, I've had a lot of questions, but there's still a lot of unknowns. MDOT is still working through their process, and they've kept some things kind of, they're still working on things.
Right.
That's the best thing to say.
Details, right.
So there's some details that they just aren't sure of quite yet. But it all kind of blends together. It blends to that quality of life.
Yes, and be more pedestrian friendly.
Be more pedestrian friendly. We want to see some more pedestrian crossing points so that it's easier for pedestrians to cross from, say, the movie theater over to the park there at Stanton and Denison. It's kind of a point where we know pedestrians are crossing, They shouldn't be where the way it's currently programmed because it's unsafe. But how do we maximize our streetscape, our traditional downtown? We want to even see the old-fashioned street lamps expanded beyond just the historic core of the downtown throughout more of the downtown district.
Right.
So,
well, part of that too is slowing down traffic. And particularly addressing truck traffic. And one of the things we're looking at is a connector road at Minnetonka to Glassby. We're pursuing that again. It was approved by the township. It's a border on the village and township, and we're pursuing that as another means to help address traffic safety and truck flow in that case. So combination of things to look forward to for the next several months coming up to, again, make it more pedestrian friendly. We've got some great ideas of things coming up that I'm sure the task force will come up with. One of the things I know Ann Jones mentioned with Funky Monkey, who's had 20 years of marketing and promotion, mentioned about having something visually interesting for the drivers to see as they go through the community.
Public art or something. So
sure.
We're going to talk about those items as well.
So we got a lot of possibilities there. So lots of good things happening. I mentioned about the zoning ordinance review. There's going to be finalizing that soon and getting to the Planning Commission. And here's again an opportunity for your input and be involved. Likewise, you can be involved with a lot of things. We got volunteers that are needed for all the different committees and events. Not only the DDA and the village and Parks and Rec, but the Chamber of Commerce and all their different events. And we want to get you involved and be engaged, like they said on the social media. Be engaged, even if it's only for a short time or for the long haul. There's opportunities here at the village. So get hold of Joe Froster, myself, or the Chamber, Nicole Starrett, on what you can do to help make things better and suggestions you might have. And we also got the Pollyant Trail. Yesterday we had an hour-and-a-half meeting. And one of the things we did talk about is in the leader this week about, and I'm clearing the overgrowth and brush on the trails, possibility instead of using man and machines, using goats to chew up the plants, including the invasive species, the plants that are not like poison ivy and other ones. I guess we have the top 5 invasive species on our trail, and the goats eat this and thrive on it. So
and they're not allergic to it.
No, they love it. So that's great how that works out. So we're looking at it as a possibility, as well as looking to trim them back and get the trail so we have at least a minimum of 3 feet or more on each side, so we don't have that overgrowth issue, because it's been an issue over there. Especially last year, we had such a rainy season, and nobody's grass ever burned up last summer, which usually does happen, but we didn't have it. So everything was growing quite thick, and which is great, but then you got to maintain it. So the Pollyant Trail is addressing that. Linda Moran, the new trail manager, is doing an awesome job with maintenance. She's looking for grants to help promote the maintenance of the trail, and part of that includes the new signs, which if you check this week on Burdick Street, West Burdick Street, you'll see a new sign. This is Pollyant, and it's got directions, and it's part of the Iron Bell trail system, the statewide Iron Bell, which is from Belle Isle in Detroit all the way to Iron Mountain up in the UP. And we're part of the Pollyant Trail is part of that Iron Bell sign program. And we do have signs on West Burdick, and also on I think it's Clarkson Road, if I remember right, down in Orion. So exciting things happening in Oxford. So a lot of things going on, Joe.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll be back in the next week or two to give you more updates.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.